What's good, math family? Today we're looking at 3 examples on how to complete the square, and we're going to make sure we touch on fractions with this topic. When we look at the quadratic equation, for us to complete the square, the first thing we need to do is to isolate and move our c term to the other side of the equation. So we're going to have x squared plus 6x is equal to negative 4. Now, just remember that when we complete the square, we got to add that c term on both sides. So to get the c term, we do half of 6, which is 3. 3 squared gives us 9. We add on both sides. Now, after we do this step, family, this left side here, we want to take this trinomial, break it back down to its binomial, which is x plus 3 squared. If you ever forget, just take b and divide it by 2. So at this step, we're now trying to get rid of the exponent. So we're going to use the radical as the inverse operation. We have x plus 3 is equal to plus or minus radical 5. Now just remember that when we complete the square, x needs to be absolutely by itself. So we're going to subtract 3 on both sides. And as a result, my final answer is x is equal to negative 3 plus radical 5 or negative 3 minus radical 5. All right. Just make sure you understand there's 2 different equations. Whether you put it as x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus radical 5, please make sure you remember that. Students make a lot of mistakes with this. Now we're going to go to example 2, where we deal with fractions and completing the square. Problem number 2 starts off the same way. For us to complete the square, we have to move that constant to the other side. So we have x squared plus 5x is equal to positive 3. So now we could actually complete the square. But you have to be mindful in this problem because our b term 5 will not be evenly divided by 2. We will not get a whole number. So when we do 5 over 2 and we square it, please make sure you square the whole entire fraction, because we're supposed to have a fraction of 25 over 4 from squaring the fraction. Add it on the other side as well. So now at this step, when we focus on the left side of the equation, we have to be mindful. Students will come in and put x plus 5 squared as the binomial that will give us this trinomial. That is not correct. Please make sure you have x plus 5 over 2. This is what that b term is. This is what gives us that trinomial that you see in this step number 2. Now we simplify that. We go on the other side. 3 with a denominator of 4 is just 12 over 4. So now that we have the same denominator, we can combine these fractions. So left side stays the same. On the right side, we combine our numerators, and now we're going to get 37 over 4. Now at this step, we could get rid of our exponent by taking the square root of both sides. So left side turns into x plus 5 over 2. Exponent and radical cancel each other out. And on the other side, this is going to be equal to radical 37 over 4. Now, please be mindful, family, that we do have a perfect square in this fraction that we can simplify. So what we can do is split these radicals. So this could be radical 37 over radical 4, which will then simplify to 2. So when we take this one step further, we have x plus 5 over 2 is equal to radical 37 all over 2. Now the last step for us to solve, we just need to get x absolutely by itself, and that means we have to subtract 5 over 2. So x is now equal to negative 5, and please don't forget your plus or minus, that's very important. X is equal to negative 5 plus or minus radical 37 all over 2. Please be mindful that we didn't have to do anything extra because 5 over 2 and radical 37 over 2 already share the same denominator. We're going to go on to the last problem of this video, and if it has been helpful, smash the like button for us, really helps out our channel. In the last problem, a lot different than the previous two because we have an a that is larger than 1. And for us to complete the square, a has to be 1. So the best first step is to come in and let's divide everything by 3. So now we have x squared minus 7x over 3 minus 2 over 3 is equal to 0. Now at this step, family, we can now move our c term to the other side so that we can complete the square. So we have x squared minus 7x over 3 is now equal to positive 2 over 3. Now, I really want to stress this because I see a lot of students make this mistake with complete the square, especially when the b term is a fraction that already has 2. Just because it has a fraction, family, we still have to follow the steps. So we're going to have 7 over 3 divided by 2. And remember, when we're dividing fractions, this is going to turn into 7 over 3 multiplied by 1 over 2. So what we actually get when we divide is 7 over 6. This is very important. Now, when we square this fraction, what we're going to now have is positive 49 over 36, right? Make sure we add it on the other side as well. Now at this step, please remember 7 over 3 is not the binomial that will give us this trinomial that I'm circling in green. No, please don't make that mistake. The binomial would be x minus 7 over 6 squared, right? This is the binomial, so please don't make that mistake. Now, when we go on the other side and we're trying to add our fractions, we could change 3 to have the same denominator as 36 by multiplying top and bottom by 12. So once we do that, we are going to get 24 over 36. So when we continue this problem, we have x minus 7 over 6 squared is now equal to 73 over 36. We're now trying to get rid of the exponent so we can solve for x. So we're going to take the square root of both sides. We're left with x minus 7 over 6 is equal to plus or minus 73, radical 70 that is, over 6. So what I did this time was skip that step where we separate the radicals, and I went straight to just simplifying. So my last step now, family, to get this x by itself is just to add 7 over 6. And when I do that, my final answer will be x is equal to 7 plus or minus radical 73 all over 6. Both 7 and radical 73 have the same exact denominator, so we don't need to do anything extra to combine and simplify. Really hope this review on completing the square with fractions was helpful for you, math family. If it was, smash the like button for us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and leave comments. It really helps us to put out more videos and topics that you guys are interested in. Thank you guys so much again for watching Algebra 1 with Mr. Peters.